Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute. This music isn't right. The scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermornings. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good sponsors, the good folks over at indiecd.org, the Independent Creator Directory, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, musicians, artists, creatives of all shape and size who can help you make your dreams come true. And if you wish to join their erstwhile ranks and have a web host place that you don't need to be concerned about being canceled or meddled with, go to indiecd.org. And if you use our special link, I get a slight kickback for your one-time fee. Now, I'm also not going to remind you that one-time fee of $40 can be cut in half with secret code podcast1, because that would be silly. So I'm not going to tell you that, so I didn't. That way Joe can't yell at me for giving away the house again. We're also made possible by, I'm getting a delivery. Thank you, dear. Sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear. All part of my ongoing manual of Western martial arts manuals. Guys, this series is designed to help you go from having never held a sword to being able to pass that art on to others. I know, I need to change my glasses. Got some Mr. Rogers energy today. But that is okie dokie. So consider getting that book, or Haints and Hellfire, my Appalachian horror story. Hey, Daphne Lake likes it. You might too. Now, I know I'm skimming fast because, frankly, I'm dealing with the mild embarrassment factor of the glorious pre-show, wherein I was set up and, going, and on the other screen, I was digging my way through the YouTube free audio library for audio creators to go, I've got some plots, some plans, some schemes for the future. But to do that sort of thing and kind of live out a little bit of my dream, because it might shock to tell you that I am rather fond of radio hosting, I needed the right jams and possibly the right Foley work. Yes, friends, Foley work. The little sounds that make things happen. But I was merrily listening through these, and I'm kind of in that zone where I'm, mostly eyes closed, listening through, flicking and downloading and going, yes, no. And unfortunately for dear friend Joe, I was in the middle of the kind of bluesy jazz section, which those who know me know that is what I am all about. And I had just hit a track, I believe it was called On the Rocks, which this sounded like the generic bluesy jazz behind every bar in every hard to determine detective story that's not quite noir but should be. And as it's going, I hear this voice kind of mutter, and I'm like, I've been hearing voices mutter in the background of the audio for lots of things. I'm like, okay, that's a neat touch. So I'm listening to hear if I hear any like glasses clink or ice rattling. And then I hear bonjour. And I'm like, wait a second. So yes, Joey was trying to get a hold of me, but I was in like Nick's late night jazz mode, and it took me a bit. Now I'm telling you this because frankly, it was funny. And it kind of hit my Friday mood. In Apparently in financial news, the Nasdaq is up 0.34%. I'm not sure why that matters, but my computer decided to flash that, and I figured I'll pass the news on to you. Not that many of my listeners are the types to care about things like the Nasdaq, but a few of you are actually wealthy enough to have proper investments. So good luck to all of you. I hope the people I know make lots of money. Now, today is, of course, Friday, and it's not just any Friday, it's Memorial Day weekend Friday, which means for us over at the Tockert family, it is a 4-day weekend where we can get some important things done. I am looking forward to that because I have a lot of outside work, I have a lot of inside work, and I have some stuff I have neglected to do for a long time. So, weather and sanity depending, I might be able to get on some of that. My literary, uh, my literary accountability is I didn't write poop in the last 2 days. I've had other assignments that I was required to attend to, so I was attending to them best I can, as well as some artistic endeavors that needed my unique touch to deal with. So I'm a little behind on that, but I am excited because I have some sample scripts from our good friend Mike Jimmy Lorsha DeBron, who was up on Last Man Standing last night with Dan and Joe. No, well, Joe was there for a while, but he had to leave. Thesis was there. So it's good to see all those folks. I'm going to look through how he phrases his comic scripts because I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around how to get my writing brain and my comic brain to work at the same time. The same way I'm trying to get my drawing brain and my painting brain to kind of work at the same time. I have a lot of these well-developed channels that I need to fold in. In other news, I was gleefully requested by the director of the Benton County Public Library to use my nefarious skills acquired from a misspent youth, actually very well spent youth. I never used my skills for evil, to gain entrance into a certain closet that did not want to have entrance gained into. Which, for those of you who don't know, I used to be very adept at a large number of fine hand manipulation type things. Little coin flippy tricks. I was learning guitar, a few other things. And while I've got the vast majority of my hand use back, I always feel rather clunky, despite my best efforts, because my hands take more focus to use than they used to. And while I was slower, I was still able to negotiate with said lock and get Mandy into her closet, which made me happy. This made me happy because it means I was able to operate a skill set that I thought I had lost. Now, did it mean my hands were twitching and shaking for an hour or two after? Perhaps, but that's okay. Just because we get rusty at something, just because our skills get neglected, because all our skills have expiration dates, friends. The phrase, if you don't use it, you will lose it, is very true. Now, why does that come to the forefront today on a lovely Happy Friday? Because as the weekend is a great time to at least take some time and do some creativity. Uh, don't hesitate, because it is more important to do a little every day than it is to do great surging projects. Consistency is the key in everything. And I want you guys to understand that. I've been talking to some people who desperately want to draw, but they feel they have lost the talent, lost the skill. Likewise, I know some people, I used to write in college or I used to write in high school, but I really haven't written in a long time and I just don't know if I can still do it. I want to reach out to each and every one of you who is feeling that way and ask you this. Okay? If you're starting with the mindset, I suck, why is that a bad thing? I'm going to pause right there. Yeah. Why is that a bad thing? Because friends, the only way to get good at anything is to do it. And the first step of being good at anything is sucking at it. It is trying. But I will tell you something I came across in some recent psychological studies of mine, and that is the 100-hour rule. If you spend 100 hours working on just about anything, in a year, you'll be better than 95% of the population at said thing. Well, obviously, there are caveats, but in general. Now, that splits up to not being many minutes a day. If you can put 18 minutes a day down very quickly, you can build your skills up, sometimes less. You can also maintain your skills by just taking a small sliver of the day and saying, I am doing this. Now, due to the vast quantity of skill-like hobbies that I've acquired over the years, I am usually very rusty at any number of them because I have far too wide cast a net to always maintain it like I want to. And frankly, I get distracted and lazy sometimes. And like last night, sometimes I just want to pile down with my wife and watch anime. You know, it happens. But I still do just enough to keep most of my things fresh enough to be refreshed. So, base level maintenance. Pick something, get started, do it. Doesn't matter what, something you love. Okay? Because we're coming into the weekend. And, this is the unofficial start of summer for a lot of people. There will be a lot of grilling, a lot of silliness, a lot of fun this weekend. I do ask that all of you, if you're going to imbibe in anything, do so responsibly. If you can avoid imbibing in anything, double down on that. Okay? Around here, at least with me, I will always find sobriety to be a flex. Now, while I don't judge people who do imbibe, as long as it's not putting a negative spin on their lifestyle or doing them harm, uh, I do respect the sober thing, and I will always support you. Okay. So if you are engaged in anything that is maybe not hitting like you want, please reach out. There are some great programs out there that can help, and it can be dealt with. I want to make sure that that's out there. I also want to remind you guys, sunscreen, all y'all. I don't care what your ethnicity is. I don't care if you are members of the Whiter Than Wonder Bread, hey, I'm pasty, incendiary family, or you're members of the I just tan and look good. Put sunscreen on anyway. Your cells will thank you. I don't know if you've heard of the Wilford Brimley line, but the Wilford Brimley line, I believe, is at 52. And what it is people have noticed, looking back at the older actors and the older era actors, how old they look relative to how young they were back then versus now. The lifestyle changes that have happened are actually really, really good for our health. I was watching. I was looking through a list of these, and they had the start of the Love Boat. And despite my gray, and yes, my hair came in gray, but it's been coming in gray since I was 15, so I'm not really worried about that. Captain Stubby and I are the same age. Yeah. You know, now I'm not just a member, I'm also a client. This is all real for what's left of it. And I'm losing a lot on the Eastern Front, but I was told that was going to happen with my medicine, and it seemed a fair trade. If you ever see me pull a Lex Luthor, you know that whatever medicine jumped up, and I'm not going to deal with patchiness. But, friends, taking care of yourself actually works. So hydrate, put on your sunscreen, use moisturizers or whatever, lotion. Take care of yourself, because you'll live longer and you'll look better. That being said, I've been asked, by some friend who shall remain nameless. I do not want to of them about the appropriateness of their beach body, swimsuit body. If you have a swimsuit and you have a body, you have a swimsuit body, go swim, enjoy it. I don't care. No one else should care. Go out, have fun. If anybody says anything excessively negative or creepily positive, they're dicks. Sorry, Spicy Nick is coming out real hard this Friday. Don't let that get you down. Live in a way that empowers you. And if you're looking to feel empowered, if you're looking to move forward into this amazing, wonderful world of creativity, I think I know someone who might be able to help. Hello, everybody. Now, I know I'm an enchanting and entertaining presenter. We know this, but I am also, dear friends, gifted with not only some of the best people in the world looking after me. I'm referring to the man behind the curtain especially right now, because I may have been talking to Mandy about how somebody has learned my dirty tricks. You see, I have a dirty trick, and I will admit it. I come into a situation, life, group, or organization. I see, these people would be great if they were only built up a bit. For a period of time, I then meddle shamelessly, shamefully. Doesn't matter. I meddle, nudge, ounce, whatever it takes. Get everybody to where they are at a level where they are all doing very well. And then at a certain point, a very specific song starts running through my head. It is the ending theme music for Vampire Hunter D, the original. I want to say 86. It's a very kind of very, very high, happy little tune that breaks into a sort of march. It's very good. Its last track is literally called Departing, which is one of the greatest puns ever. At which time, if I've done things right, I look at the pattern of the web construction I have made, and then I slip out the little nick-shaped hole I've made for myself to go jaunt off onto my next adventures. And apparently, a couple people have been around me long enough have realized that I am inclined to do this, and are making very sure that I am not I see. I know what you're doing. I appreciate it, but I see. I got eyes. So there. Now, but as entertaining as I am, and I am entertaining, my chat is more entertaining. And that's what people come here for. That's what they come to see. A touch of insanity and my chat. So I'm going to provide you both. First through the door at 9:30, according to my tracker, is Sarah. Sarah, she has risen from her crypt in the wilds of Illinois at the cry of all the alarm clocks to grace us with her gothic presence. I know very recently was either National or International Goth Day. I hope you had a wonderful one, Sarah. What did you do for Goth Day? Nothing. But for Goth Night, oh my goth. Anyway, that was a terrible pun. How are you, dear? And she says, a lot to do today, and then a double shift than what I usually work tomorrow. Accountability, time management. Hey, you do what you got to. You hold on. And Alex says, morning. Good morning, Alex Creation. I hope you checked your email because I have. Congratulations on what you have achieved. I have heard that my little delivery was made to you, and I hope you enjoy it. Heard another delivery was made just ahead of, in the case of somebody with exactly like minds like mine. It's almost like we've been married forever. But I'm glad you got that too, even though she beat me to it. Now, look around the lovely group that are listening to you, Alec, my dear friend, and see who's building you up and embrace them, because that's what we're here for. And Alec beat you all, and indeed you did, Sarah. While your workload is lightening, mine is getting larger. Thanks, buddy. And teehee, you guys at Lamau. And I wondered which one of us would pop up first. Not by much. Alec woke up like 15 minutes ago. Well, I'm glad you're up. Sarah says, I used to be able to sleep way later. I have no idea why I can't. Drives me bonkers. Well, sometimes our rhythms get shifted. Alex says, I used to be able to sleep till 1 to 3 p.m. But I think for me personally, that was at a rough time in my life. That can happen. I personally deal with, what did they call it? Displaced circadian rhythms, where it is natural for me to go to bed at about 2 o'clock and wake up at about 10 a.m. I like that. That is nice. I've negotiated it to around midnight to a little before 8. So, that's what I can do. And let's see. And makes sense to me. An overwhelmed mind definitely impacts the body 100%. Yep, that's just good health. True advice there. My neck knife. I'm getting a little warm in here. And food and meds consumed. Now to wait for the show. Yes, And Sarah said, my parents had a hard time getting me to have a bedtime, even through high school. No later than 10, had to be in bed. Couldn't get me up till around noon every day I wasn't in school. I did a reveille, 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 sweepers, man your brooms. That is how I woke up a lot. I had to wake up to morning calisthenics. Now I do late night sword drills. I need to do morning calisthenics again, but I tend to get up, get ready, and do this thing where I do a program with all these dashing, wonderful people and consistently forget to bring my hair ties back in here. Bah! I got a struggle my mom had when I was in 7th and 8th grade. I'd miss school. I miss so much school. I understand that. And, I love the thumbnail for today's show. I missed it until just now. A pet bat and witchy. I'm glad you enjoy it. I am working on upgrading the thumbnails. Check out what was generated if you missed it. Wednesday's show had some really good thumbnails for next week. I'm quite proud of them. Yes, I know I have to do a massive DeviantArt upload. Yes, I know I am way behind. Ow! And good morning, Thesis. I'm impressed you could be here, given how late you were up. Hey, Blade, and I can't believe I'm doing the when I was your age talks. I'm not old enough for that to be a thing. Well, I am, but I could deny it even under oath. Now I enjoy it. LOL. Hearing those stories irritated the crud out of me. Now look, so wrong. Oh, we all engage in a little hypocrisy when we get the wisdom of age, dear. And Alex says, oh, how I love Epic the Musical's album. It's so good. I don't know why I said this. I'm just listening to a song that's really good. I understand. Do what makes you happy for show. Whenever you get a chance, take it. You get the chance, take it. No. 1 minute warning. Oh, crud, you're right. Good morning, Sarah. Alec and Bladed, says our own Joe Bachman, who's lurking behind the scenes. I thought about bringing you up, but I didn't want to die. So, because he's got some serious Joe face going, alternating. It's like, smile, smile, serious Joe. Smile, smile, serious Joe. So I can tell he's checking his emails. And Alex says, hi, Joe. Oh, God, I can save that as an overlay almost and just have that work as well. I see that look quite a bit. What's scary is when you see him go from serious to just leaning. And he's talking on the phone with someone. Yeah. Then I know that something has gone wrong with a concrete pour or something like that. And somebody's going to die. But don't worry. They will make sure that there's rebar around the void of their body buried in the concrete. So no one will know that they're helping hold up the bridge. Anyway. Hi, Joe. Woo. Baby. There we go. And spaced out for a couple minutes. Welcome to the wonderful world. Come with me and you'll see a world of OSHA violations. Anyway, yes, folks, I am in the mood. Wow. Poor Joe. Oh, God. I think I just saw Fortunate Son play behind Joe as like he fussed, and there were like Huey helicopters and snowplows in Gary. It was just this whole tableau of insanity. And let's see. And morning all. Hey, Foxy. And okay, maybe later, but caffeine IV stat. There's too much caffeine. There's too much blood in my caffeine stream. This is the way. Anyway. Foxy. See, my buddy Joe, he's a monster hunter. Not the way you think. He just tracks down those elusive cans when they're wild in the woods. Anyhow, yes. Are you expecting a sane discourse this morning? Are you expecting quality? NPR grade education and entertainment. Not today, folks. I looked around and I decided we've got less rails and more bumper car energy today. So we're just kind of popping and bopping along. We're going to find our way. It'll just take us a bit. Foxy, Lamouse there. Everyone's laughing. Chilly here this morning. All of 46 degrees. We are sitting at 74 degrees and sunny at the WNTF studios in lovely Indiana. Yeah, because I didn't give away the house at all with the $5 sign. No, not Joe. No, excessive generosity. Not Joe. Hey, Joe. Yes, we are having a stream. You are the second person to reach out to me today because I totally spaced that it was anything like a holiday. And realistically, my wife and I's plans literally are house cleaning, gardening. If the weather is nice, sharp metal objects may be thrown at unsuspecting wooden objects. I'm not sure. There are some possibilities, and boy, I would like to do them. Because, Memorial Day. I understand. And I understand it's an important holiday, a somber holiday. I hope people remember the meaning behind it. Not just, yay, barbecue, but also that they don't forget the yay, barbecue aspects. 46, Foxy. Good thing it's above freezing, but dang. Yeah, Utah weather can be weird. And I'm glad it didn't freeze for my tomatoes. So am I. Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were, for sure. And yeah, I think we're the furthest west that are generally here. Almost. We're the furthest west in the chat, but I know a couple people who regularly watch and are insanely shy. I'm looking at you, who are quite a bit further west than even you are. Lockpicking can be fun, and yeah, nicking lockpick. Amanda told me. Well, yeah, I have a few myriad skills, but I've never used them for evil. Can sometimes, depending on the lock. Dang, Foxy, you must live way up in Yankee Land. See, that it's interesting because I was accused of being a Yankee at one point, and I laughed about it because where I was born wasn't a state then. I'm from Oregon. So first off, we weren't a state when you guys had your happy little Civil War. And I'll give you another hint. The Tockert clan weren't here during your happy little Civil War. I don't think we got here till after the Kaiser got all uppity and caused some trouble. And I think we were part of the group. Now, one side of my family was sent to Russia to teach the Russians how to farm in an unpleasant territory. It's very strange. We're a very, very odd bunch of wanderers. But we tend to like the higher latitudes. Changes in latitude, changes in attitude, friends. And most people think that means going south. Not necessarily. I don't know if I could do it now, but I certainly managed any luck in my house growing up. That's true. Mid-Utah Grey Wolf, and wow, imagine it gets really chilly up there. I have a distant cousin who lives in Utah. It's a pretty place, though vastly different where I grew up, I see. Yet my cousin lives in Pleasant Grove, Utah. She's originally from Tucson, Arizona. Fascinating. And here comes the dawn, shooby-dooby. Hi, Dawn. And since Dawn is here, we want to remind you guys to check out her group on Facebook where you can you can read about her fashionable felines. A quick one to make her squeak. And then, since we're at a good point, and I've already skipped over one of my traditional commercial breaks, I want to throw some love at our man, Mike Jimmy, who is running out of opportunities for you guys to back Life on Quora. So,
What up, lovelies? This is Mike Jimmy, CEO of Verison and the creator of Love and Korra, now back with our 7th issue in the series, The Bond. Love and Korra is a series of one-shots, building a world one story at a time. A couple of years ago, I imagined a world, and I told a couple of writers to go have fun in my sandbox. And so they did. Each adventure is unique and adds just a bit more to make this world feel more and more alive. They can be read separately and all contain a complete story. In our upcoming release, you follow Sevier and Avil on their journey into maturity and find out if their friendship breaks down in rage or whether their bond is stronger than bad emotions. Now on Kickstarter and Fund My Comic.
Life on Korra is just the most innovative world I've seen in a long time in any fiction. And I'm just pleased as punch with everything that Mike Jimmy's been doing. He's a great guy, great project. Support it, please. And we've got, hi, Dawn. And, Dawn is in Georgia. Okay. Peachy. I went from Missouri to middle of state Utah. We're on the edge of the desert. That is extreme climates. Very, very cold and very, very hot. This weekend, working double is what I usually do. Working double what I usually do in a week tomorrow. Intent, load children with caffeine, sugar, and more butter than popcorn, then clean up after watching the show. I love the way you've embraced the joy of your job, Sarah. And I'm way behind, so let me deal with a quick comment dump. And hey, Dawn. Wow. Tee-hee. I will make it happen. Shenanigans. Hi, Dawn. Dawn. I'm being called out for Skunscrim. English. I can speak it. Sort of. Sunscreen. Sunscream is what I do. I step outside and go, but sunscreen. There we go. I got it out. It took a few tries. Lydia stopped holding up the sign. Lydia, you're supposed to... I don't care if you haven't had your coffee break today. It's show. I deeply identify with Kermit the Frog sometimes. Like, just to let you know, trying to run this madhouse. That's okay. I need to buy some for the summer anyway. Indeed. Don't forget to check the expiration dates on the sunscreen or sunblock. Ingredients break down. Then you think you're covered when you're not. Yep, you want to be smothered and covered, just like I like my taters. Anyway, hey everyone. About to head out to look at the mountains. Want to stop by and say hi to everyone. Well, don't get in trouble in those mountains. All right? You don't need to accidentally stumble into one of my stories. Anyhow, let's keep on trucking, and much love, Dawn. And good morning, Trey. How are you, my dear? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning. We're talking about you at Joy because we were watching, Mandy and I have been on a sliding scale of quasi-isekais. And we are currently getting through the second season. And I'm going to say it wrong, but it's like Arifureta from Commonplace to Strongest. And yes, anytime we watch that kind of anime, it's like, can we get that Trey resonance, you know? Like, who reminds us of who? It's great fun. And morning, Trey. And morning, Trey. And Trey, my Finch loves you. Foxy says, now it's 43. Sun comes out. We got colder. Come on, that's not fair. Ooh, what a tease. You have no idea. Oh, I mean, you mean the sun. At any time the wind will start, it's always windy here. I can get my hair combed by sticking my head outside like a dog out the window. Well, y'all better snuggle up. A lot of people say, oh my goth, usually the younger generation. Well, you see, I associate with the younger generation. And I mentioned Trey too many times and Joey disappeared. He's probably going to go pay her a visit. I hope so. I was only up till 12:30, but that was an hour after LMS ended. I usually sleep from 12:30 to 1 till about 7. Okay. We have the different timelines, so your stuff is later because of where I live. That Joe face would be perfect for a not the green room sign. Do. That shouldn't have worked. I thought I had everything muted. Apparently, Julia Lapetite wants me to vote, as I should. And none of that is at all pressing. So I'm not going to worry about it. It would, yeah, Alec. And LOL, I have pictures of Joe like that time for some photo editing. Yes. LOL, Trey. I still need to share a YouTube short with Joe from Stephen He one of these days. I bet you do. I love Stephen He. He's great. Hey, yes. The nurses in Doxton I used to work with never complied to my coffee IV stat order. For shame. It's criminal. He curses foiled again. If you see his safety instructor shorts, yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Emotional damage doesn't even begin to describe those shorts, and I don't do construction. Well, nothing official anyway. Like the show now, and for those of you who watch this on the rerun, he's spot on, unfortunately. Oh, yes. My family's been in the same plot of land since before Missouri was a state. Impressive. Yankee land? Wow. Really? The South has some reenactments where the South won. Raffle. Reality check, Lamau. It was surprising to see that in the chat. Well, that's good-natured ribbing in this case. I rather enjoyed my conversation with Mike Jimmy last night, and the baby made me miss having little ones around. They'll do that. Oh, accountability. Accountability. All commissions are finished out. Now I'm working on an order book to take with me to cons. Excellent. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to have OnlyFans to see the bottom of Doom Bunny, but I mean, what? No, I would never go. Huh? A cuddleable Doom Bunny? Maybe. Centuries later, and somehow still a thing. Freaking weird. Centuries ago, still seeing it. Progression? Oh, sure. Well, the trick isn't in the number of centuries, it's in the number of generations. And we only recently had the last Civil War veteran pass. See, we lose track that everywhere else in the world, except for America, 100 years is not that long a time, historically. Now, 100 miles anywhere else in the world except Russia, because Russia is a huge distance, and that's no big deal in America. So we see. Woo, go Trey. Accountability. I shared a certain character introduction on Facebook earlier this week, despite my reservations. People seem to enjoy it. Excellent. Funnily, I originally typed that as sunscreen. Yeah, great minds, Foxy. And that's cool fam history, Foxy. Great with the projects pumping out, Trey. And Nick bickering with Lydia about breaks set me. Well, that's... I don't mind the baby shoggoths that slink around my room. I don't mind the giant bone dragon that is basically mooning me from the closet right now. But I do like my secretary to do her job. Good help is so hard to find, and a family is so hard to raise unless they're buried very close together. Anyhow, our family's history is interesting. Sorry, got rubbed wrong for a bit. Back. It happens. No worries. I'm just, as host, I try to maintain balance wherever possible. And speaking of balanced folks, you know what? Let's deal with this. And well, I left a comment up, but that's okay. Woo, we got comment dumps, and here we go. Oh, thanks for the Death Notebook, Nick. Got to start read it later. This doing housework today. I applaud your maturity, and I'm glad you enjoy it. I got my younger niece into Death Note, Alex. Sweet. She got the show and books now. The year I showed it to her, she made an identical replica of the book and went out that way for Halloween. I'm so proud. Oh, Alex just made iced coffee. Oh, iced coffee sounds good. Somewhere in my journeys, I got a vanilla cappuccino slushie, and now I really want one. I may have to make a pilgrimage up to the Luke Stone on 20 near Portage, by 49. I say that because the last time I was up there, they had 16 different slushie machines. Never could get into coffee. Way too bitter for me. Yes, Nick. Can you send me different angled pics of the Doom Bunny? I can send you different angled pics. You give me time, I can 3D render it on old versions of Sketchbook. I need to learn Blender. I know I need to learn Blender. But yes. It's nice being back on LMS again. A couple of weeks avoiding certain someone made me miss conversing with my chosen family. Well, wow, root beer is super bitter to you. That's intriguing. I've never heard of that. That's fascinating. I mean, I know about the people who can't stand licorice or also are wrong. I know about the people who cilantro tastes like soap, but I've never heard about root beer being bitter. And remember, if you encounter black licorice, black jelly beans, black Twizzlers, secure them in a safe container and then send them to me for disposal. I will take that shot. Okay? This works for good and plenties. This works for the fancy licorice pieces. I am here to remove that threat to you because that is my gift to humanity. Saturday is it looks like another tea house being Thesis's program, and he's going to discuss his favorite Chinese-based MMO. I told her root beer, and she looked at me with the same face. I told her banana wasn't supposed to be spicy. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some interesting allergens going on. Ooh, I want a frappuccino. It's so hot in the mornings in Illinois. Sounds so good. Make it flavorful and sweet with cream on top when I have it, which is rare. But dang, that sounds good. Not going to lie, that sounds amazing. And other things that sound amazing
Hello, I'm Dan Holifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Abelian Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphellion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.
Also, off topic, but I happened to catch part of C. Michael Lanning's program. I think it's RSVP, and I can't remember what it stands for, where he was, if you get a chance to catch it, it's on the Indie Comics Network. And he made a truly impassioned plea for me to think more highly of One Piece. And all I said is, I think it's overhyped. The man, the background music changed. It was the close zoom in. It was beautiful. If you get a chance to see it, I really think it was a powerful piece of broadcasting. And on the off chance that Nita, catches this, she should be proud. Now, let's see. Food allergies for sure, but bananas are spicy. They are okay. Then yeah, that's definitely a food allergy of some sort. You need to get that checked because that could actually have some pretty staggering issues. Food allergies can make big jumps very quickly to cause bad things. So please be careful with yourselves. Now, really? Okay. It is Friday. And it seems like you guys are all, oh, I know why, because Carl and Donna are on the road. And that's why the rhythm is a bit off. That makes sense. And kiwis are pure pain. And I tried to give her some good kiwi they were giving out at Walmart. She took one bite and handed it back. Seriously, please get that checked. And Sarah says, writing out lists for AMC, taking care of medical insurance info, and working on therapy-written homework. Isn't that just fun? Plus, doing some errands for a while. Knock out that. Absolutely knock that out. But it looks like we've had a very calm day, so I'm going to run some ads. If nothing picks up, we'll wrap it up, and I'll get to have a bit of break before the start of Nita and Daphne show, because I think that's kind of cool. So let's run some ads, and we'll see who's doing what. I'll run a long one. And since Carl and Donna aren't here, I'll run his Summerton ad.
In 1948, a man was found dead on the beach. But he hadn't just washed up. Oh no, he was very nicely propped up against the seawall, very well dressed. But there were no labels in his clothes. They had all been cut out. Very mysterious, the police thought. And then they found, rolled up in his pocket, a piece of paper from a novel that said Tamam Shud. When they finally traced it, it came back to the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. But it got even more strange, because in the back of the book, when they found that it had been torn out of, there was a code, a secret code that has not been cracked to this very day. When they finally found his suitcase, it had a mysterious jumble of items, some which were very hard to explain. Also in the back of the book was the phone number of a very mysterious nurse. What did she have to do with the death of the Summerton man? Find Death and Love Down Under, a novel by Carl Witzman, on Lulu.com in both ebook and print format.
Well, folks, Carl's made some real wonderful alternate histories. I'm frankly excessively excited for his book on D.B. Cooper to come out, or his story, or whatever. I'm a big D.B. Cooper fan. And let's see. Trey's going to get the hairs cut and maybe check out Spice Cabinet. I'm going to have to set up an ad. She was supposed to send me something to be an ad. When you see Jessica, being Jessica Trump, proprietor of the Spice Cabinet, please let her know she's supposed to send me an ad. And you don't have enough hair to get cut, darling, but okay. And yeah, I should see an allergist one of these days. I'm mostly just careful of trying new things and avoid things that set me off. But it's better than what a lot of things could be. And that's so cool an idea Carl came up with for a book. Amazing. It really is. And it's based on a true incident. X Creations going to be working on my room, so I'll be able to organize everything I have art-wise. Go for it. Don't end up like me. I want you to be better. Foxy says, I need a haircut too, Trey. Gonna have to wait till I have more money, debating whether to chop for summer or not. And Alec might do his hair as well. Trey, you need to send me pics of how the t-shirt looks so I can see how it looks on an actual person. Look at that, trying to get t-shirt pics of Trey. I see how you are. Anyway, and yes, there is some consideration about me getting my ears lowered too for summer because I have intensely thick hair and it's like wearing a stocking cap. But we will see. Or a real-life swamp hag. The sides are a bit shaggy, and we're attending a wedding tomorrow. Oh, and I'll poke at Jessie. Good girl. I had Trey on the mind because somebody sent me one of those lists of group pics from anime that you're nostalgic about. And there was Oran Host Club directly over Gundam Wing. And if I were to define how I see Trey, it's somewhere between Duo Maxwell and Haruhi, whose last name I can't remember. But, you know, it just delights me. So, yes, you guys have been on my mind. And I need to get it trimmed, too. Same. My hair's so baby fine, but I have so much of it. 1 week till Nitsu tries to find and save Garb. Well, 6 days. Not close enough. Not that you're counting. Yes. The question is, will your party be competent enough for you to get where you need to be to do that? Or will you be slaughtered at the gates as a trap? These and other adventures will only be found out by the folks playing Dust Falls Over Ravencleft Gorge. Expect that book out somewhere in the fall if all goes well. With that, I'm going to run some wrap-up ads. And then we're going to call it so that you can go see Daphne and Nita talk about what they have to talk about because they're good folks. So let's see. Who needs an ad besides my usuals? I'll run Foxy's. I didn't run it last time.
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at indcd.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
Yeah, folks, there's some great things coming down the pipe. I'm very proud of everyone working so hard and what they're producing. And I hope to have some stuff ready for you for Monday. But till then, guys, keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating. because you can always edit it. You can improve it, but you cannot edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too. See you tonight over on the Historical Fencing Guild channel for the Historical Fencing Guild live stream. Till then, all toodles.